Examination and written communication skills. This is one of the topics I get asked about a lot from people studying exams or people studying vocational qualifications. So what I'm going to try and do in this presentation is look at the different levels of response, what the command words are, and then show you a demonstration about how you can write those levels. Now these skills should be transferable across all subjects, because you should see these command words being used regardless of what subject you're studying. So let's start with some of the basics. So all the skills I'm going to cover here are not exclusive to just business. They're going to be transferable across every single subject. You need to start thinking about this in a holistic approach, so a wide angle, rather than being narrow about your subject. They're all fundamental skills you should know regardless of what qualification you're doing or what level of qualification you're doing. So even at a high level, at for example level 2, you should show some evaluation, just like you would do at level 3 and 4. The only difference is that obviously as you've got the levels, you tend to find that you're being asked to do more of the, for example, the evaluation skills rather than doing the actual low-level skills of knowledge recall. But let's start with knowledge recall. So knowledge is the most basic skill requirement you're going to be asked to do in an exam. It tends to be a direct question that asks you to recall some knowledge. Now, what you need to do in this skill is remember that you're going to have to use this throughout all the other skill requirements. So even if a question asks you for an evaluation answer, try and show good knowledge. And you're probably going to show good knowledge by making sure your answer is specific to the subject you're studying. So in my case, make sure your answer actually sounds like you're a business student. If it's not a business student's answer, then it could be anybody who's answering a question off the street. And you just need to apply that test to everything you do. So typical knowledge command words. Look at the honeypot we got there. If a question starts with the word define, state, identify, describe, list, what is meant by, they're all questions that are looking to assess your knowledge. So show me that you understand what the knowledge is being required. So define a term, state something, identify something, describe something, list. So write me a list, a common word that's used in many vocational qualifications. What is meant by? Very simple. You're just going to answer the question that's set. Show me your knowledge. Now a little bit harder than knowledge is application. It's still a fairly low level skill. You expect you to do this in most levels of qualifications. All you've got to do here is apply your knowledge to an example. So take your knowledge and link it to an example. In an exam it could be to a case study or a source, or in a vocational qualification it may be to a situation or scenario or an organisation you choose yourself. Let's look at the command words for application. So application command words tend to be things like explain with an example, outline, apply, so apply your knowledge, calculate, so as soon as you calculate something you are showing application. Remember this if you've got an exam paper where you can actually calculate some sort of answer, some calculation, you are showing application. Explain why. Produce, so you're producing something, you are applying your answer. Now these sorts of questions still require you to use knowledge, so you need to show some knowledge, but then you need to apply that knowledge to an example, which is fairly straightforward. We'll look back at that in a minute at some examples of how to do that. The next level that builds on top of that, getting slightly harder, is analysis. Now analysis is slightly more challenging. To demonstrate this skill you need to ensure that you are making applied points and showing a good level of knowledge of your subjects. However, you need to go one step further. Now you need to start giving me some evidence to support your generalizations of things you're making. So in other words, tell me why, explain your points. So rather than stopping at a simple answer, go on to explain it. And that's where good analysis comes from. Typical analysis command words, as you can see there, tend to be obviously analyze, compare, contrast. Now notice those two are separate at the moment, so compare is one word, contrast is another term. Explain how, examine, outline, all words that you will see which are all asking for analysis skills. Now to demonstrate analysis you need to again show me your knowledge, apply your knowledge, but then make sure you explain why. It's that telling me why part which gets you the analysis, taking your answer to that next level. Then last but not least we have the hardest one, which is evaluation. That is always the most challenging exam skill or assessment skill that you've got. Now to demonstrate this skill you need to make applied points. You need to show good levels of knowledge and you need to show analytical development to your answer before you get there. But what you tend to do with evaluation is you start to make a decision, or you make counter arguments. So you show me both sides. So you use things like however, on the other hand, or it could be argued that, or in conclusion I feel that. Notice that all you're doing is you're trying to pull it all together. Now you will know if it's an evaluation question because you will see the following command words such as evaluate, discuss, so show me both sides, summarise, to what extent do you agree, or to what extent do you disagree, recommend, so what should they do, or notice compare and contrast, so side by side. These are all terms that are start to be evaluative, so they want you to make a decision. Now, if you're going to show these skills, you need to make sure you're showing your knowledge, you're showing your application, you're showing your analysis skills, but then you go that next level by you show the other side, you use that however, on the other hand, it could be argued that. And that's how you get to show me the evaluation skills. Okay, what I want to do now is try and show you an example of how these skills all go together. So let's look at a standard question. Evaluate how Coca-Cola uses a marketing mix. Now start with knowledge skills here. You can see there the marketing mix is a use of the 4 P's. This is price, place, product and promotion. Notice all I've done there is define the key term. That is knowledge marks. Everybody should be happy with that. I've just took my knowledge, shown my knowledge. Let's show some application. So now I'm going to build this answer by adding some application. So I've got the marketing mix is the use of the 4 P's, the price, the place, the product and the promotion, which is my knowledge. I'm now going to put my application in there. An example of how this is used is when Coke uses TV and billboards to promote their products. They use psychological pricing such as 69p, and they support their customers by giving them point of sale material to help them sell their products. So notice I've started to link it to Coca-Cola. Now let's explain that a little bit more. Let's explain one of those points now. Obviously I'm going to try and explain one point here. So notice now I'm adding some analysis. I'm saying Coke uses ambient above the line promotion methods such as TV, billboards to promote to the mass market. They will combine with their sales promotion methods such as the special pricing offers and limited editions of Coke that they produce such as a lime Coke version. This helps to create increased sales such as Coke has elements of panic amongst the customers, so they feel like they have to buy more now or stockpile because it won't be here for long. This enables them to differentiate from their rivals such as Pepsi using the power of their brand. Now if you notice I've tried to fit it into a small area there, but what I'm trying to do there is show you that I've got knowledge in there, I've got application there, and I've got explanation there why, what they do. And hopefully you start to feel that point, you start to explain why. So it's start to look at it. Now what I need to do is make more points like that. I'd have to build on that before I get to evaluation. So clearly 3 points probably be a good example to work on. So you want 3 levels of analysis. Then the next step to get to, and the hardest part to get to, is the evaluation. So imagine that I've made my points now. That is a sort of example of an evaluation. So look at what I've said here. I've got Coke uses a coordinated approach to the marketing mix, using a range of pricing, placement, product development and promotion. Coke is in a highly competitive mass market, so they need to spend large amounts of money on above the line promotion. They are clearly successful in this, as they are the world's most popular soft drink brand, and also a highly recognised and trusted brand. This brand loyalty and reputation is important when it comes to pricing, as it enables Coca-Cola to add value to their products and differentiate from their rivals such as Pepsi. They use short-term price promotions to increase the sales, and psychological pricing as a method to encourage the customer to make increased purchases. The reason that Coca-Cola are successful is due to their product, which is clearly well designed, developed and appeals to customers' tastes. Without the right product, no amount of pricing or promotion will bring about success. However, Coca-Cola may currently be the world's most #1 soft drink, but this could all change. Changing consumer tastes and the promotional methods that are used to reach the customer are constantly changing. For example, social media has been a new low-cost promotion method that companies like Coca-Cola have had to adapt to. There is also the constant drive to develop new innovative products that the customers want. In a competitive market like this, Coke will need to keep spending large sums of money on developing new products and building successful marketing campaigns to ensure success. In an ever-changing global market, this means they need to continue to grow in emerging markets, taking into account the cultural considerations, whilst ensuring that they don't damage their core brand image and reputation. So as you can see, I've tried to show how COPE uses the marketing mix. I've tried to get an evaluation there, a nice tight one, but also showing a wide range of knowledge. Clearly, if I was doing this as a written piece, I could show you more detail and break it into smaller chunks, but what I'm trying to do here is give you a feel for it. So hopefully you can see a feel for the different levels. If you can't, then go back and try and trace it through. Obviously, you can feel free to ask me any questions, but I'm trying to show you the different levels of answer there. Okay, that's it. You should now have an understanding of the different examination and assessment command words. You should now be able to identify what each command word is requiring from you and how you actually tackle and demonstrate that level of response. Don't forget you can follow me on Twitter, it's at BeeBusinessBee. Subscribe to my YouTube channel or visit my website, it's beebusinessbee.co.uk for more resources.